Hi there, welcome to another video from the Vickers MG Collection and Research Association. Hopefully you've seen the How Let Loose videos where we looked at the British submachine guns, those submachine guns that we used in the game. One of those was the Sten gun, the Sten Mark II, and I wanted to share a little bit more with you about the Sten that we actually used during that shoot, because it was quite an interesting one. It's actually something that came in a case, in a very, very well presented wooden case. And on the top of the case, it usefully says Sten. So, we know what it is. But this really nice lined, more like a, classic pistol case or a shotgun case or something like that. We will loan this for the day. We've kept it so we can do this video as well. And we wanted to look into it a little bit further. Now, it seems that the gun isn't actually matched to the case. So the gun that we used is a Sten Mark II, and it has Chinese characters on here. So it's a Sten Mark II made by Long Branch in 1945. And so this is one of the Canadian-made guns for the Chinese contract. And they were producing Stens like this, but also the Browning High Power and the Bren in 7.92mm. And they were for the imperialist Chinese fighting the communists. So we, the Canadians, agreed to supply them lots and lots of weapons, but they were largely overrun before many of those weapons could arrive. So many of them ends up just in collectors' hands or in other stores or supplied to other organisations that have these Chinese characters on them. So the Sten that's in this case has been put in afterwards, put in more recently. What we do know about the case, and this is all we really know, is that it went through auction on the 15th of July in 1975, and it was lot 44. We don't know which auction, we don't know whether it had a gun in it at the time, but that's the UK, that's in England probably. And so, it hasn't, I don't think it's left the UK. So we'll look at it a little bit more detail. It is there, it's been completed by the loaner. It's got 4 magazines, it's got a space for a screwdriver, a space for the buttstock, a magazine loading tool, the Sten itself. Now the bolt for the Sten is inside. There is a small recess in the bottom here for the cocking handle to fit into. So it all fits in there quite nicely, but you do have to take the barrel and so you take the barrel out and fit in there, and you take the barrel cowling off of it as well. So that fits in there. But what's also was in here originally is the pistol grip. Now we were loaned it and it didn't have the pistol grip in, so we've sourced one, and this is the pistol grip that fits onto the back of the Sten. Now this one doesn't actually fit, it's a different type. What you've got is 2 different types of fitting for the Sten to the butt. And one is this stud fitting, which is on this T-stock here. Oh, it's also quite tight in the box. There we go. So then there's this stud fitting on there, as opposed to the hook. Now, they both fit on the guns, either gun, but the stud fitting is what fits in this box. So that might tell us a bit more about the origins, but it's something to find out about. But we do have a pistol stock, and we will try and get this to arrange with the pistol stock at some point as well. But just to understand a little bit more. So let's say we've got these 4 magazine slots. The magazines themselves, I don't think are anything particularly special, as Sten magazines go. They are flanged on the top here, so that actually they'll only go so far. You can't over push them. That's different to a normal Sten magazine actually. So we've got 4 flanged magazines, let's say that only go into the housing so far. I'm just trying to look for any markings. What have we got? Oh, so DE175. Those are actually, I think, the drawing numbers. DE173, that one on there. DF176, so it's not a drawing number. Might be a serial number that was matched to something at some point, but it's not a DE170. So that they've been put in, they are individually numbered DE175, but I don't know on what grounds they're numbered. There's no other markings visible on these as well. So, and some of them, they're actually soldered around the bases of these magazines too. So, and one of them is blown here. It wouldn't actually load into the gun when we wanted to use it. It's got a bit of corrosion underneath. So we've, the 4 magazines come in the box, and then like I say, you've got the main body of the Sten with the cocking handle in there, and the bolt already fitted with the spring. But most people know, but this is the magazine housing. It rotates, allows you to put it, put it together properly. The butts stock then, let's take that back out, comes off, fits on like so, right there, and then we need to fit the barrel. And the barrel fits, we put it into the, what am I doing? Over the cowling over there, and then we screw it in. And we just screw it as tight until we start to hear the ratchet. And it won't come off there, it's fixed and secure. So that's the Sten ready to go, ready to fire. And that is as we used during those videos for the Howl Let Loose analysis. It's a really interesting gun. It's obviously been through British proof. It was really tight and secure to fire. There's no sort of rattle in it like you see in some Stens that were perhaps earlier made, British made perhaps during the earlier part of the war. You know, it is just a really secure kind of firing position, and actually was one of the better guns out of those that we fired on that day. So yeah, it really nice, and just take the stock off, and we're able to fit the pistol grip as well, very quickly and very easily. So then we don't perhaps have the stability. I haven't fired it like this yet, but we will, I'm sure, at some point. Really interesting to see how that fits on and how it starts to be used. It's interesting that the case is fitted for it as well, because that's something normally only associated with perhaps Special Operations Executive, the SOE, maybe the SAS, but they didn't really go for the Mark II Sten. You do see it with the 1st Polish Independent Parachute Brigade. They use them quite a lot. So I don't know why the box is fitted. We don't know who the box was for. The box is a fascinating piece of equipment that you'll see as we gradually take all the bits out. So it's also fitted for a magazine loading tool. Now this is the Mark I magazine loading tool. And what's really interesting on this is it has the drawing number. That's not a parts number. That is DDE, hence why I was getting confused with the DE. Design Department Engineering 2758. That is the drawing number for the magazine loading tool. And what we can see on this as well is the actually the scratch lines to show you where to cut. So these are handmade. One of the members of the association, in looking through the contract ledgers, actually found a contract requirement for 50 of these to be handmade, 50 of these for prototypes and designs. So this is probably one of those. Say these scratches and stuff are amazing. It's a Mark I. We have a Mark II in the collection. You can see how the spring moved from the side down to the back there, and this is the issue variety. So yeah, this is quite not necessarily crudely made, but a lot more mass produced than this example here. They both work in largely the same way. Well, they both work in exactly the same way. As I say, you've just got a spring on the side there rather than on the back. So that fits in there as well. And then we've got, let's say, the screwdriver. That's just a screwdriver that's been found that fits. Actually, let's pop these out as well, so that we can start to see it. We've put there's some flannelette kept in there. This piece here is empty. This is just a spacer, I think. Yeah, it's just a spacer that fits in there. There might have been something underneath, but it wouldn't be that much. The string is obviously broken, that would normally hold the lid open. And it fits there like that. So you can see, though, the integrity of this box, the detail and the work that's gone into it. It's absolutely amazing. So we don't know who it was for. We only know of one other box of its type, and I don't say, it's not the same, but there is a boxed Sten that was presented to His Majesty the King George VI, as being a member of the Home Guard. He kept his Mark II Sten in it, and the Imperial War Museum have that, and it's not as high a quality box. So if you've got a higher quality box for your Sten than the King has, who was it for? Don't get distracted by the fact it's a Chinese contract Sten. That's important because, like I say, these were matched later. But yeah, who was it for? So if you have any idea, then please do get in touch with us and let us know. I don't know. It's like one of those retirement kind of presents. But who do you give a retirement Sten gun to? We know Churchill had high quality materials. But again, we don't know whether. This can't be Churchill's Sten box, surely. Surely it'd have WSC, Winston Spencer Churchill, on the outside. but yeah, interesting. So let's say, let us know some more. There's no other clues. There's no clues on the back or anything like that. Do let us know what you can about it if there is. So how does everything fit back in? Let's pop that flannelette back in. We're saying that this, let's say, doesn't fit in here. I think I said that. Doesn't fit, but we will get it to fit at some point. This is a reproduction. We're pretty sure of that, so we'll try and make it all work as we want to, so that it can be kept with the case for the future. Screwdriver back in, magazine loading tool back in, stock back in. It all fits now, doesn't it? Barrel and barrel cover back off. Let's say this is a bit weird because this is loose in here, so it's a bit strange that it's loose because everything else is so well fitted, and it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit in there with the barrel on, so it does seem to have gone there, but maybe there was something it went around, I don't know. Fold the magazine housing just by pulling out the catch, fold that down there, make sure the bolt is forward, and that will fit back in there. We put our 4 magazines back in. And then also has been put in here is just one of the early illustrated identification lists for the Sten as well. So quite interesting, but yeah, that covers the Mark 1, 2 and 3. And then there we go. So hopefully you enjoyed learning more about that. We certainly have enjoyed having this on loan. We've got to return it. We will do. Maybe it'll appear in the collection at some point. Please do support those fundraising projects that get the guns into the collection that might not be Vickers. You can go online and find all those in our online shop. You can also support us at Patreon, so we've got that regular income that helps us buy things from auction when they come up, more interesting things. And we'll share more about it soon, and if you know anything, please let us know.